What's up everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you for tuning in, and in today's video we're going to be talking about how to conduct cold calling marketing in order to get a wholesale deal under contract. That being said, this video is going to be value packed from the beginning all the way to the end, so make sure you stick around and watch the whole video. If you guys aren't already subscribed to the channel, make sure you go down below, hit the red button and subscribe. So let's get right into it. What is cold calling marketing? How does it work? And why is it beneficial for wholesaling real estate? So cold calling marketing is when you make hundreds and thousands of phone calls to homeowners of properties asking them if they're interested in selling their property for cash. So when you're making these cold calls, you're going to be able to get through people and find the ones that actually want to sell their property at a motivated and discounted price. This is one of the absolute best marketing channels when it comes to wholesaling real estate, and it's my favorite marketing channel. So with that being said, guys, let me go ahead and give you something for free right off the bat in this video. I'm going to give you my cold calling script for 100% free. So that way when you go out there and conduct cold calling marketing, you have the right script, so that way you say the right thing on the phone. If you go to jacobblank.com/free, you're going to be able to download my cold calling script, and I'm also going to give you my purchase contract and my assignment contract for wholesaling real estate. There will be a link down below in the description for this as well. So make sure to go to jacobblank.com/free and download my cold calling script. So let's go ahead and break down that cold calling script though. What does that look like? So my cold calling script right here, it's a very simple script. We're going to be calling the homeowner and we're going to say hello, and then they're going to say yes, hello, can I help you? And we're going to say, hey, my name is this. I'm calling in regards to your property address. Are you interested in selling that property? The reason I'm calling is because I wanted to see if you'd be open for a cash offer for that property. They said, I definitely appreciate that, but I'm not looking to sell. And so we're going to ask them, well, do you know anybody else that's looking to sell, or do you have any other real estate that you might want to sell? If they say yes, we're going to go ahead and say, yes, great. Well, let me ask you a few questions about the property so that way we can make you that offer. And then we're going to go ahead and ask them, what's the reason they want to sell it? How long do they want to wait till they sell it? Like, what is their timeline? Do they have an asking price? Have they done any remodeling to the property in the last 5 years? And is the property vacant or is it occupied? So these are the questions we're going to ask them when we make the cold call, and then from there we can follow up with them, negotiate with them, and lock up the deal. But that is basically how a cold calling script will go. So make sure you go download that at jacobblank.com/free. Now, when you're conducting this cold calling marketing, what you're going to want to do is, instead of making these cold calls one by one with your phone, you're going to want to use a multi-line dialer. But before we get into a multi-line dialer, you're probably wondering, well, where do I get the phone numbers of people to call? So you're going to need to get a list of motivated sellers. Now, there's multiple different data company providers out there. My favorites are going to be PropStream and Cole Realty Resource. There's going to be a link down below in the description for these data providers. Basically, what these data providers do is they let you sort the homes in your area for homes that are motivated to sell. For example, I could look up Phoenix, Arizona, and it'll tell me there's 500,000 homes. And what I can do is I can filter that down to people that have owned their home for 10 years or more. So that way I know they've owned it for a long time, meaning they're more likely to sell, and they've paid down the mortgage, and their property is worth more than what they bought it for. So that means they'll be able to sell their property for a profit, making them more motivated to sell. So guys, that's one of my favorite motivated seller lists. Just a standard high equity list where they've owned their property for 10 years or more. So once we get that data from one of those data providers, we then can upload that into our dialer and start cold calling. And like I was saying, instead of dialing each record one by one, that will take forever on your phone, because you'll be typing every phone number in, and not every seller is going to answer the phone right away. So you could be waiting 5 minutes in between each person you talk to, and that's just going to take too much time. So a multi-line dialer is a system that calls 12 people at once and feeds you the people that answer. So that way you're not waiting for people to pick up the phone. So if it's dialing 12 people at once, 1 out of 12 is at least going to answer the phone, and it'll feed that to you so you can talk to people. That way you're able to reach hundreds and thousands of homeowners, and you're not able to reach that many with your phone. That's the only way to have success with cold calling, is using a multi-line dialer, so that way you can reach hundreds of homeowners every single day. I've used tons of dialers out there, and they're just not that good. My favorite dialer that is really good is the Ready Mode dialer because it lets you dial 12 lines at a time. With like the other dialers like Mojo, it only lets you dial 3 people at a time, slowing your progress down and not letting you reach as many homeowners. So guys, there's going to be a link down below in the description for the Ready Mode dialer. I highly recommend that you guys go check it out. It is a really, really good platform when it comes to cold calling marketing and being able to call thousands of homeowners. And it looks like this. So as you can see, I have about 50 cold callers on the company. And as you can see, it shows how many hours they worked. So this caller worked 14 hours and they were able to make 953 phone calls. That is so many phone calls for only 14 hours of calling. If you called for 14 hours with your cell phone, you wouldn't be able to reach 1,000 people. So this is what the dialer looks like, but if you go to the link down below in the description, you're going to be able to get a full demo of the platform for free and get a discount on it. So it's a must-have if you're going to conduct cold calling marketing. You must have a multi-line dialer. Now there is one other thing I want to show you guys that's important. You know, you need to be trained up on how to do cold calling, right? You need to have the proper skill set. You need to sound good on the phone. You need to know the different components of cold calling marketing, right? There's your intro when you make the phone call, your hello, right? And then there's the part of the phone call where you're getting fact find, where you're collecting information from the prospect about information about their situation and about the property. And then there's rapport building, guys. Building rapport is building a relationship with the customer. And there's so many other skills that go into being a master at cold calling. So I want to mention that I do have my cold calling training manual. It is available at jacobblank.com/shop. There's going to be a link down below in the description for this as well. But what it is a 20-page training manual that goes over everything you need in order to onboard and train new cold callers to join your team, and also for you to learn yourself on how to cold call. It covers how to perfectly do your intros, techniques of language choice, what to emphasize, structure and consistency, affirmations, stamping the call, building rapport, how to be adaptable in your approach, right? It's important to adapt your approach when cold calling. And there's multiple scripts included, quality assurance and quality, to check the quality of your calls. All of that is in this. So I highly recommend if you want to master cold calling marketing that you go get this training manual. There's going to be a link down below in the description for this. Now, the next thing that I want to show you guys is thecallgenius.com. You don't have to do all the cold calling yourself. You're actually able to hire cold callers to scale out this marketing so that way you have team members on your team making the cold calls for you. You can hire them in the Philippines, Mexico, or Egypt, and you're going to be able to pay these callers somewhere between $4 to $7 an hour to make these cold calls for you. So you're able to pay only a few dollars an hour for cold callers out of the country to make these cold calls for you, to find sellers that want to sell their properties for cash, that are motivated to sell. Out of thousands of calls, they'll find you the people that are highly interested and pass them to you, so that way then you're just talking to people that are highly interested. You're no longer doing all the cold calling, you're talking to people that are warm, right? They're warm people that already want to sell. So you can hire cold callers to do it for you, to find you the people that really do want to sell. And my favorite company to hire cold callers from is thecallgenius.com. Thecallgenius.com, okay? And there will be a link down below in the description for this as well, thecallgenius.com. But that's who I use for my cold callers. They're super good. They come trained, so that way you don't even have to train them. They come trained. It's a turnkey solution. They can start calling for you right away, and it will help you grow and scale your business. They're fully trained. They're fluent in English. They know how to use the dialer and a CRM. They have managers that make sure the quality control is done so that way they sound good on the phone, and they're highly skilled in sales and telemarketing. All you have to do is fill out a form here and they'll reach out to you. They're used by over 150 wholesaling companies. So thecallgenius.com is who I use to hire cold callers if I want to hire them to do the cold calling for me. But overall, guys, that breaks down exactly how to do cold calling marketing for wholesaling real estate. You need a multi-line dialer. You need to make sure you have cold calling scripts and training. And then if you want to, hire cold callers to do it for you, you can hire them at thecallgenius.com. And then we also went over how to get the motivated seller data to call. And my favorite data providers for that is PropStream and Cold Realty Resource. And there's going to be a link down below in the description for those data providers, so that way you can get the motivated seller data to put in the dialer to cold call. But overall, guys, that is how I do cold calling marketing for wholesaling real estate. I hope you guys found the video valuable. If you did, make sure to hit the like button. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel, go down below, hit the red button, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.